Hey there, laugh your way to bliss, subscribe for uproarious jokes and endless hilarity.
A man walks into an antique store and starts looking around. Suddenly, he gazes upon the most stunning bronze statue of a Siamese cat. He asks the store owner how much he wants for the statue. The store owner replies, "It's $200 for the statue and $2,000 for the story that goes with it." The man replies, "I really don't care about the story, but I do want the statue." As the man is paying for the statue, the shop owner says, "All right, but I guarantee you will be back for the story." The man walks out of the shop and starts down the street carrying the cat's statue. When he comes to the crosswalk, he happens to glance behind him and sees 3 or 4 cats sitting about 10 feet away, looking at him. He shrugs it off and crosses when the light changes. He goes several more blocks and, at another crosswalk, looks behind himself again. This time, there are about 30 cats sitting there looking at him. The man starts to get a little nervous and picks up his pace when the light changes. By the time the man reaches the pier at the end of the street, he has already been running for several blocks. He was running because every time he turned around, there were more and more cats behind him. He looked like a Pied Piper. When he got to the end of the pier, he turned around once more and saw at least 2,000 cats sitting there looking at him. There were so many cats that there was no way to get off the pier without going through them, and he knew there was no way he was going to do that. In a panic, he turned towards the water and heaved the statue as far as he could. Amazingly, all of the cats ran right past him, jumped in the water after the statue, and never came out. The man, still shaking from his ordeal, immediately started running back to the shop. As he burst through the door, the shop owner saw him and said, "I told you that you'd be back for the story." "To heck with the story," gasps the man. "Do you have a statue of a politician?"
The teacher asked the class to use the word fascinate in a sentence. Molly put up her hand and said, "My family went to my granddad's farm, and we all saw his pet sheep. It was fascinating." The teacher said, "That was good, but I wanted you to use the word fascinate, not fascinating." Caroline raised her hand. She said, "My family went to see New York City, and I was fascinated." The teacher sighed and said, "Well, that was good, Caroline, but I wanted you to use the word fascinate." Little Johnny raised his hand. Now the teacher knew he was a bit of a scamp, but she was desperate to finish this lesson, so she finally decided there was no way he could damage the word fascinate. Johnny said, "My Aunt Carolyn has a sweater with 10 buttons, but her breasts are so big she can only fasten 8." The teacher sat down and cried.